Okay, let's do roll call real quick because we got a lot to talk about, y'all. Previously on Kimba TV. So I think if it does a sweep, I'll probably close everything once it gets above like the 382, maximize profits, right? But you have to, that's why you have to watch, because that's a really easy place to trap. Then you go, got him. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? All right, you already know what it is. All right, how we doing? Happy Thursday, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Willie says, was gonna join you in the short in that golden pocket pullback, but was sleeping. No worries, Willie. It's something that we talked about in my short, right, while I was in Hawaii. City of food all for my probability that it's gonna make a lower low. It just made the lower low. Still need to see a rejection, right? Couldn't get it yesterday. That's okay. Let's see if we get it today. Willie D, I see you. Uris, what's going on? Pino says, yup, a sweep would be nice today. Did you guys see the scam wick on MEXC? Oh man, you guys know what that means? There's gonna be some people that are like, fuck, I got stopped. And then there's gonna be people that know what that means. Yeah. Do you guys know what that means? Do you guys know what that means? What does it mean? Okay, well, first things first, okay? When have you ever seen a scam wick on MEXC? Never. And what market makers do, this is just experience and being in the game for super long. When market makers do something like this on a smaller exchange, okay, they don't do it on Binance, they don't, you know what I'm saying? They used to use Bybit for this shit. Bybit was scam wick central for months, you guys remember? MEXC never does scam wicks. So what this tells me is market makers are practicing nuking. The long wasn't that good of a trade. You were gonna get stopped out anyways. I would just consider it a favor that they did for you. But the thing that you wanna remember, okay, is when you see shit like this, the market makers are practicing nuking. They're trying to see what the retail sentiment is like. Oh, fuck. Is retail trying to long back in? It's a test, y'all. They used to use Bybit for this all the time. It just so happened that they used MEXC this time. But anytime you see a scam wick like that, they're using one exchange. It could mean lack of liquidity. No. They're practicing nuking. Soto says it's the first time I saw that in MEXC. Yeah, MEXC never has scam wicks. Fuck, man. Manipulation, man. Yeah. Fuck MEXC. Stupid exchange. They got you. But yeah, if you've been in the game long enough, whenever you see one exchange or a small exchange doing scam wicks like that, the market makers are practicing nuking, and they want to see what the retail sentiment is like. They want to see how many people buy back. How quickly do they buy back? How stubborn is the longers? Okay, so there you go. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, we might be able to get a sweep today. Alrighty, so two things that I think could happen. One is we actually get the sweep today. If this goes back, then we're probably gonna go back up here and then nuke. To me, it's like so obvious. So if this goes like this for some reason and it stops me out, I'm going big short. Yeah, so anytime you see market makers doing that shit, they're practicing nuking. They want to see what the sentiment is like. Do the retail longers keep getting back in? All that stuff. Okay, so anytime you guys see a scam wick like that on like one exchange or two exchange and it's not Binance, they're practicing. They're practicing nuking and grabbing liquidity. So when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, okay. Maybe we gonna nuke today." That's all that tells me. Glazis says, "Will you take longs on a sweep if that scam wicks happened?" Yep. Yes. Nothing has really changed. I don't think that's a possible sweep, so I'm actually gonna delete this. Okay. But yeah, that's still valid. There hasn't been anything math-wise that tells me that that's not a valid attempt. It can still nuke, which is why I'm only going to close half of my short. And it's also because it's a baby position. Alrighty, so first things first is what? We need the golden pocket to get turned into resistance. We couldn't do it yesterday, okay? But this is still applicable. We still need this. And so when is this confirmed? When it makes a lower low. Any questions? You guys want to talk about anything? For the most part, nothing's really changed since yesterday. We took the short here, literally Pico top. Golden pocket, chances for a lower low. It just made a lower low. And then now we need to have this turn into resistance. First things first, do you remember when I would get bullish is if it turns the golden pocket, right, into support. So if it does this, okay, and it does this, right? It's the same thing that we talked about yesterday. So if it does that and it stops me out, after seeing this, now I'm gonna, because there's a nuke coming. That is indicative of them practicing nuking. And so if it's not gonna go and sweep now, and it wants to go to 30K, then they're gonna nuke all those longers. That's a really high probability move. So if it doesn't grab this and it goes to 30K now, then I'm gonna be shorting it big at 30K. If we grab this first, then I'm not gonna be shorting 30K. I mean, it's a good TP area, but it's which one comes first. That's why Alpair. Because all it tells me is that they are going to nuke at some point. I'm hoping that it's today or maybe later tonight. Fuck it, it might even be tomorrow morning. I don't exactly know what the reaction is going to be at this golden pocket. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of retail that longs, okay, like in this zone. This, if you remember this sweep, I'm not going to play that as a sweep, but I'm sure a lot of people will. So it wouldn't surprise me if it does that shit. And I don't know how long that could take. So yeah, but if it doesn't go and grab that, then I would probably be looking, you know, somewhere in this zone for a big short because there's a nuke probably coming. So that's why LPZ. Yeah, but for it to go back up before grabbing this is lower probability. So we'll see. Does that make sense, LPZ? If it doesn't grab that, then I'm shorting that. If it grabs this, then I'm probably not going to, you know, this isn't, this is still like an interesting zone too. We definitely can't be like dismissive of it. So TP1, somewhere around here, like 30K, TP2, TP3, and then I would probably be looking for a short there maybe. But I would think that if it does this, if it gets back in this bitch, if it does some shit like that, I think there's a probably good chance that it's going to go back up to the range. So yeah, that's why. My pleasure, Alpeasy. I'm still hoping that we get the sweep. You know, I'm still hoping that we get the sweep. It's about to lose like the uptrending diagonal support in a little bit as well, so that's going to be interesting. Garibaldi says daily range is so tight, feels like a day off. Yeah, yeah, but we're approaching the same levels that we talked about yesterday, right? So value area low at 131, weekly point of control at 29.2, previous day point of control at 29.3, EQ. Oh, I thought the EQ was actually lower, but I guess it moved. So normal to see a little bit of a reaction here, even at 131, but ultimately it's just based off of that little scam wick. Yeah, I hope we see it tonight. Jay Steve says, bro, Kimba, your teachings of math has stripped away my emotions. That's awesome. That's awesome, because we're too fucking stupid as a species to be thinking emotionally. It doesn't matter if you're trading. It doesn't matter if it's like a political thing. Like, dude, we're still monkeys, okay? So, like, whenever your emotions are triggered, you're thinking at like an animalistic, like, monkey level, and we're better than that. So, yeah, at the end of the day, like, the math is the math. The probabilities are the probabilities. It doesn't give a shit if you're pissed or desperate or sad or euphoric, you know? But don't beat yourself up too much, Hayato, because God knows it took me years to contain my emotions and really figure out what I can do to prevent myself from getting in my own way, It takes time, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have, we got through the first baby fib. Okay, cool, but we got Big Daddy fib now, and then look at this dickhead right here. So now we still have the same levels that it needs to penetrate and turn into resistance. Karobna says, what is your favorite setup on the tape and what indicators are your favorites? Well, my favorite setup is more related to an abstract concept. So I will define a level of interest. Once the area is defined, I'll start to use things like POC, VWAP, fibs, daily or monthly levels to get more specific numbers. And then from there, I'm gonna try to put together a plan on how much I want to risk, what kind of confirmations or validations that I would need to feel better about that. And then the rest is just waiting patiently and seeing how it executes. So it changes based on what I think the market makers are doing. The last couple of weeks and months, it's kind of been a stop loss hunt. So that usually means that I'm going to be looking more at sweeps. I'm going to be looking more at where the liquidity is. And I'm going to be trying to think, okay, where are the retail stops and where are the retail liquidations? But if you go back to, say, 6, 7, 8 months ago, I was more about Fibonacci and divs, okay? Because they weren't stop loss hunting as much as they are now. So we barely saw any sweeps like, last fall and last winter. And we saw a lot of fib reactions and div plays, like really seeing an edge, like seeing if buyers are getting tired or sellers are getting tired, and then taking advantage of that. So it always changes, Karobana. And like I was saying, it's about adapting and evolving. I don't think you can do the same thing for the whole year. And like even right now, we have Kimba Box as 618 to 786. But when it's bull market time, Kimba Box is actually going to be 0.5 to Golden Pocket when it's bull market time. So a lot of things will change with time. You just have to be aware of what the market makers are trying to do. But conceptually, my strategy and my favorite setups never really change. Identify the level, okay? Go in and do more analysis to try to get more specific numbers, Put together a plan so you know what to anticipate and what you need, and then just be patient and wait for it to play. Something like that. Just says, if your trade was your usual size, would you TP all at 288? No, I would still close half. And because are we really like, who really gives a shit about like $100 or $200 difference? We're not really trying to maximize profits and get every single dollar. Our job is still to look at the market, interpret the market, and read the market correctly, right? So the probability of this nuking, it's really close to 50-50. There's really nothing that says, hey, this is a high probability trade. So on that note, even if I had a 250 Bitcoin short, I would still close half and let the rest ride just in case it wants to go to 27.2. Okay, but if it does this and it does like a sweep structure, then I can just market close the whole thing. Yeah, but just I want to stress the way that I'm gonna do it is very individualistic to me. There's nothing that says this is the right way to do it. From my experience and what I've seen and the way that I like to manage my risk, I'm okay with that because it could still do this. It could still sweep. It could just do this, and then it could do this, and I could be like, oh fuck, I should have left this short open, and that's coulda, shoulda, woulda shit. So just because I'm gonna TP half, and then if it sweeps and on the market structure change, I'm gonna market close the rest. It doesn't mean that that's what you guys have to do. If you're super bearish and you think it's gonna go to 27.2, maybe some of you guys aren't gonna TP at all. Nothing wrong with that. So whether it's me or somebody else, never think that what they're doing is the right way or it's the only way. There's many, many different ways you could do it. Instead of taking half, maybe you take only 20%. Okay, all right, guys, I am out of here. Wish me luck. I got to do some last minute cleaning before the agent comes. But saddest part of the day, ladies and gentlemen. If we get to this area, whether I get filled or it nukes and I take a little bit of an L, I will post in Discord, okay? Whatever interaction happens here, I will post. So if I get that sweep, you guys will know. And I mean, I already have my limits, so if it like goes and it stops me out, yeah, I took a little bit of an L. Okay, and you guys already know that I will have half of this short that you see still open, right? Okay, but if it starts to do that, like I'll jump in Discord and I'll let you guys know. But for the most part, even if I didn't do that, I think you guys are all set. So long or short, I'm rooting for each and every one of you guys. You guys already know what my spiel is. But let's finish out the week strong. We still have monthly options expirations on Monday, so Monday is going to be just as important. But we got, baby weekly options expirations tomorrow. So let's finish the week out strong. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe. Let the math guide you and just do your best. And remember, it shouldn't matter if you take a little bit of an L or not. Who gives a shit? I love that you're taking shots. I love that there's good risk management going on. Don't beat yourself up if you take a little bit of an L. Beat yourself up if you don't know what's going on. But there's nothing wrong with taking a shot and taking a little bit of an L. All right, Sato, take it away.